lecture Montana Sapphire. First, good evening to very few people in Western US and Canada who are watching late. It's 11:02 here, and many Europeans and of course Australians, but also a few people in India and Dubai. It's midday there, so we are very well presented. Let me just let me remove the screen of participants. We have over 40 people, what is a good start. Thank you for coming. And it's a lecture based on my last conference, international conference. It was in Montana in June 2025. And many of you Australians know the first one was in Brisbane 2023. So I'm glad I did it because I was always interested in sapphires and gemstones. Though most of you knows me as a diamond guy, it is true. I am still diamond guy, but I did a lot of study on gemstones. But probably you will discover today some of this. Okay, I'm very glad our friend, British gentleman Eric Ems is joining us from London. Okay. He is one who was with us this trip, so Eric is allowed to correct me a little bit at the end. As you know, I'm working in Canadian Gemmological Laboratory in Vancouver, now 16 years, altogether 30 years in 3 gem labs. I started in 95. I studied actually gemstones, not diamonds. I ended up in New York working and studying diamonds and GIA, and very fast went to Gem Identity Research Department. So, of course, I was checking a lot of gems, color diamonds, what ended up to be my niche, natural treated and synthetic color diamonds, and of course now coralless, synthetic, and other diamonds. But anyway, Helena is my partner in the laboratory and my life partner, of course. We do a lot of knowledge transfer in our research and education through research projects on different topics, but also organizing now biannual Mediterranean Gem and Jewelry conferences. We did 7 of them in 10 years, and now this is a second one international, and next year to be a third one in Dubai. For those who want to know more, a lot of information on BrankoGems.com. Some people who sign up with this lecture notice that I have at least 10 free good lecture from last 5-10 years on practical topics in gemology. So this is me being young in 1998, my first trip after I was free to, I was 3 years in GA, and then I had a summer off, and I went to Sri Lanka to study sapphires, how they do heat treatment, how they mine, and I was very excited to present this and conference in GA Symposium San Diego. Then I was in Australia first time in 2001 at ICA Congress presenting the topic of heat treatment of sapphires, and of course visiting a very important sapphire deposit, the biggest at that time, very much mechanized in New South Wales, in opal deposits. And in 2014 I was presenting a GAT conference in Bangkok and visiting Pailin sapphire mine in Cambodia. So I do have some experience, and I did my actually first topic on Yogo sapphires in 2006. You will see later. So what we do in the laboratory, just one slide, but very important. Of course, if stone is rough, crystal, we can see its corundum by the crystallography, by hexagonal shape, if it's original shape, or could be, of course, alluvial, and then we are losing that shape, but still we can see some evidence that is crystal. And then if it's red or majority red is ruby, everything else it's a sapphire or fancy sapphire. We're talking today about blue sapphires or sapphires. And big job is to separate if they're natural or synthetic. Sometimes we can even go into detecting producer or type of growth. Just today I had one 7-carat stone that woman was very happy to submit as a Sri Lankan stone because very nice zoning. And actually, gemologist at the local jewelry store, gemologist, really strong word for that, told her, yes, looks like very great color. and end up to be flame fusion, typical with the curved color zoning, not straight. And of course, she'll be very disappointed tomorrow when I tell her the value. Then, if it's natural stone, of course, I would check if it's natural color, mostly in the microscope and UV lamp, but also using some spectroscopy, or treated color, and very important if it's stable or not stable, like diffusion treated or glass filled or all kind of not stable treatments. And in case this is not my specialty, but we're talking about this today, origin of country, the two basic big separation of sapphire deposits, those that are basaltic in origin, those in Australia, Cambodia, Thailand, China, and the more darker, generally speaking, and has more iron, generally, and those from Kashmir, Burma, Sri Lanka, Madagascar, Tanzania, and USA, Montana, that are not basaltic, metamorphic, and usually they're more lighter in color and they're more lively and they have more chromium. Just generally speaking, of course, it's much more complicated. That's why we go to conferences. And we went to Montana. It's a huge state. Some of you came last year to Italy. We went to Austria, Italy, and Slovenia in 1 week. Believe it or not, now in 1 week, we could just end up crossing Montana from west to east, 5 hours drive. They have a double number of cattle than population, only 1.1 million. Okay, so we went there, and a little bit on history, how everything started more than now 130, 40 years ago, 1865. While looking for gold, prospectors were finding some bluestones, alluvial in Missouri River, and ended up to be sapphires. 1895, Jake Hoover found in Yogo some bluestones, and famous gemologist George Kunz said the name after him, of Tiffany, identified as sapphires, and paid $3,750 for whole parcel. It was big money in 1895. Just 5 years after, the first time displayed at the Paris World Fair exhibition, 200 of them, and the world find out that US also has sapphire, what is good. So then a little bit on geology. I'm also a geologist, but I'm very interesting to understand these sapphires. You can see me standing next to the huge dike, 10 kilometers long, as wide as 7 meters and as little as 10 centimeters. You can see on the right how it looks underground in a vortex mine. And it's ultramorphic lump profile dike. And interesting that this, when weathers, this dike looks like a yellow ground of kimberlite, whoever seen it in South Africa, or how kimberlite looks like. Origin of sapphires are very interesting. As few hypotheses, you will see one come just very, very fresh this year from a Canadian gemologist and geologist. So basically, they're suggesting that sapphire is formed from partial mating of aluminum-rich rocks. Probably lump profile, but you will see there's some others as well. So this is Yogo. Garnet inclusions are very important, and this is what a group from UBC, Andrea Caddy and Lee Groth, studied in 2006, invited me to study Yogo sapphires as well. And of course, there's a lot of good papers from different authors, and I will recommend Aaron Palke from GAA, who did a lot of work with Richard Berg and Nathan Renfro, Origin of Sapphires at Yogo Gulch in Montana. Who wants to read more, of course. So what I did in 2006, actually, I studied with this group from UBC in New York and Vancouver. We studied 12 faceted and 20 rough samples, mostly blue to violetish blue, but other colors also, purple and pink. We found they're quite clean. Of course, they have some inclusions, mostly rutile, but crystals, sulfides, garnets, and other rare minerals. And interesting, rutile is more like a euhedral crystals, not like a silk you would see in other stones. Very important to separate that Yogo sapphires are really specific terminology. They're primary deposits. Everything else is Montana sapphires, the alluvial. So this is something we need to know when you talk about sapphires. Generally, gemology is very fitting in what we know about refractive index, specific gravity, or pleochroism of sapphires. It's in all gemmological books. Of course, fluorescence is important as a indication of what trace elements we have, and in this case, they have a faint red or no fluorescence in Yogo stones. Iron and titanium are responsible for this blue color, usually 450 absorption and 375, 387, and some stones, of course, showing 695, what is attributed to chromium. And the more present, of course, we have more in purple or close to pink stones. We found a lot of iron and titanium responsible for this color, as I mentioned, and chromium, titanium, and iron for these purple stones. This is me going last December, first time to Yogo to investigate. Went in the winter, what was not very smart, but why? Because at the entrance of the mine, you can see snow, and the little vehicle was not possible to use because my host, owner, Don Bade, left it outside, so it was frozen, actually, the oil. So we walked down 400 feet down to the mine, which was very interesting and very nice. Hope you can see above then Don is rock like hanging here on the top. This is what they call, at least I learned that, a widow rock. Unfortunately, Mike Roberts, previous owner, was killed by one of these rocks falling down in the evening shift. He didn't have a partner. It was a mistake, and this is what happens sometimes when you mine underground. This is a very nice picture by Bob Kane, who was my also host there. He's ex-GIA head of gemification, dealer, and fine gem minerals. He has very nice collection of all kinds of sapphires from Montana. This is how it looks in a rock. Okay, so then, of course, we organized the conference, and this is my group of speakers. You recognize some of them, a guy from Staller, Sherry from GKL. They're talking about the diamonds and detection instruments. Bob Kane was guide. Fazil talking about Zultanite. Warren Boyd about, of course, Rock Creek sapphires. Laura Kiefer is the expert of country of origin. She was talking about that and treatments, and she did a nice workshop. Diana was there as a supporter, and she has nice stones from Africa. Myself, Joe, then Laurie is a turquoise expert. He will come to Dubai to do talk and workshop on turquoise. Of course, you know Travis Lehman. Travis, my MC, and guide Blaze Wharton. This is a group that was there. And of course, we had a lot of nice lectures about sapphires. One of them was from Laura Kiefert, and we learned that Montana sapphires are older, around 50 million years old, than Australian and Colombian, and many from Africa, sorry, from Asia. You can see Pakistan, Kashmir, Afghanistan, but younger than mostly Sri Lanka, Madagascar, similar geology, and African deposits. And of course, each participant get a nice paper from Bob Kane. We did it in color, American Royal Gems, Montana Yogo Sapphires, where you can see next to each other, left and right, difference in inclusions. Between Yogo Sapphires on the left, they have a calcite, lily pad patterns around solid inclusions. Rutile is more like crystals. On the right, you can see that there are small flakes of rutile, and we have mostly heat-treated these stones from Montana. On the left, Yogo Sapphire is famous and appreciated and higher price because they don't need heat treatment. They're naturally blue. And another slide, the difference is in zoning. No color zoning in Yogo Sapphires. They're very solid, very nice. And on the right, you can see that even here, some stones, you can see in the center how it's brown and color zoned. On outside is blue. These stones probably be heat treated. On the right, they're not heated, but they will probably be heat treated, many of them. 80% are heat treated. And a few laboratories issue reports on country of origin, not only country of origin, but Yogo origin, very important. Yogo mine, because it's the most expensive sapphire from US, based on inclusions, lack of zoning, visible spectroscopy, and of course, chemical analysis. They're usually high in titanium, vanadium, and chromium, and low in iron and gallium and other, like other Montana sapphires. You can see on the left some nice pictures from Roncourt Corporation we visited, and on the right some inclusions by this study of Canadian geologist Philip Belly. Okay, this is another slide from Laura Kiefert about how chemistry is used in most labs, EDXRF, or even better, LAICPM analysis to see where sapphire is coming from. I learned, and whoever was in the conference in Greece, that 2022, that it's most difficult stone to separate by country or mine is really sapphires, because you can see here how it's busy, a lot of overlap, and that's why they combine spectroscopy plus chemistry plus inclusions to come up with a mine. And sometimes you can see 2-3 laboratories does not agree on the country of origin, and this is happening at auction as well. Okay, this is our map of Montana. We were here in Helena in the center, and first day we went 3.5 hours all the way to Yogo Gulch in 2 vans, 8 people in each van, and it was great. Then second day we came back. I went to local El Dorado mine spoken along the Missouri River, Alluvial mining, and then we had a conference 2 days, and then we went Monday after conference to Phillipsburg, stayed there, and went to Rock Creek, the biggest and most commercially important sapphire mine. You will see more in the beginning. You can see here Helena, and then Helena and Guy mining and sorting. It was our first group. They let us actually come to the mine, pick up our buckets. It was really, we were so excited. And each of us could sort their own bucket of sapphires, and we were able to keep them. I have mine. So definitely I have a Yogo source in my collection, and everybody who came there. George Lynch was our guide. Roncourt Corporation open mine for open. I mean, it was open, but they give us a tour. Unfortunately, most of them are under 1 carat, 90%. Very rare you see 1.5, 2 carat Yogo stones. They're nice color and doesn't need heat treatment. You can see here we went across the little creek, Yogo, to another mine Vortex. This is Don Bade, who gave us a tour. Unfortunately, we couldn't go underground because of insurance, because it's a big group and it's not active mine. Yogo actually produced very little sapphires compared to other Montana sapphires mine, and they're very expensive when they come to Tucson show, and they're very much in demand. And I'll just repeat this. Diana Chesler was really inspired. This is a lady here, South African America. She said it was really, she felt the earth immense power in this. Really looks like a very nice creek with 2 huge limestone mounting on each side. So now I'll just show you a little video. It will be easier for you to see this as a video, to have an idea what we did. Then we are going into Yogo mine. My group, Guy, Helena, Paula, David, and Fazil, and Priya. We are going in, yeah?
Wait, I'm going.
Guy, George is ahead of you. Yep, George is there. I just picked up the pieces. Let's go to get them first.
Okay. No, I didn't get you. Say it again.
No. She's just pulling, picking them up, but you gotta shake it.
Oh, Ruby. Nice, Ruby. Don't be afraid, Paula. Shake it, Paula.
Shake your money maker.
The bottom screen, you'll still find
Okay.
it. They're not going anywhere.
Here, Paula, let it go.
There we go.
Paula is the first.
We'll be here all night if we do it like this. You got it.
Little bucket.
Oh, cool. Will hold that for me now?
The governor of Montana was here 6 months ago digging. Yep, he came up and spent a day with us. He didn't take enough money from you? No, he's a rock.
Okay, participants of BrankoGems conference, you can start to dig for sapphires. Hope you find something. So George, what we find we can keep?
Yes, whatever you find, you guys can keep.
Thank you, Roncourt Corporation. Was really heard it?
So, yeah.
You can keep sapphires.
They dig their own.
I left my shovel in the car. Wait.
Yeah. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that little videos because it give you some better perspective what we did and how it was really exciting to be fine. Then we went on trip 2 to Missouri River, Sapphire deposits, beautiful big river. And you can see here, we went to the few different bars, Spokane, French Bar, and El Dorado was a really big one. And this is the map provided by Bob Kane, modified by Berg, what is a famous geologist from Montana. So, a little difference, sapphires are bigger there, definitely easier to find, at least because they mechanized operation. And we went to a few different locations, even beside El Dorado. We went also to the property of Neil and Debbie Herney. And we found each of us also a lot of little sapphires, or they're actually good size, could be 2, 3, 4 carats each. This is a heavy guy with his stone. So we found it in these gravels. You can see on the right how they look. They have some shape, but they're worn. They're alluvial stones. They are metasomatic origin, and as I mentioned, they're 45 to 50 million years old, and they have a lot of inclusions like topaz, alunite, anatase, chalcopyrite, monazite. So interesting combination. You'll see later their geological origin. I put some new slide for you that extra for this group. Okay, so I'll put you 3 more short videos because this is the best to show you how they're mining at El Dorado mine. A little bit different operation, you can see.
It's nothing, not so much up there, nothing. That's all. And it's very strange how the layers are perfectly lined, even though the ground isn't. And then it gets capped by about 3 foot of white ash is the last thing I think to fall. And so where the sapphire performed is anywhere in there. And the gold is no richer on the bottom, in the middle, or high. It's all distributed about evenly, but this gray is usually the best material.
Talking about gold now.
Or the sapphires and the gold, they hang out together. If you get good gold, you got good sapphires. It seems like they go hand in hand. And so it comes into this concrete calcium layer, and some of the stuff is super hard. You can't even dig through it with the backhoe. It's just hard like concrete.
You dig you manually?
No, I put this shovel here for reference to see this area with pictures wise. You can't, if you try to dig with a shovel in that, it takes a long time to make a bucket. So I usually take my backhoe and rip it all
So
out.
is this the material you're presently mining?
Yes.
So like all of what we sort through comes out of here?
Yes, any of my bags that go out in the mail or anything and my runs are all out of here right now. And the dirt that we're running today is out of the rock piles, the dredge piles. And so, yeah, this is all. The river has some in it because I think it's all from the crater. The river just goes.
Sorry.
You're saying like the entirety of this region?
The outside part is the mountain range. And so, and that's why this is.
Oh, that's why you're talking about asteroid. This was an impact.
Impact, and I think it vaporized the whole ground and then it solidified everything and just landed on the ground. Like rain or hail does out of a cloud. It's just it vaporized the ground and it's wild. And so the sapphires end up in the most crunch zone in the bottom because they get, the aluminum turns to pure silicon. And so that's.
And does it,
in my
maybe it falls down.
I think that there's 2 reasons. The one, it's heavy specific gravity as a gas. So specific gravity of gas is heavy. Like oxygen is light, but you put propane and it'll be lower and yeah, and the rocks.
You don't usually.
They layer, they're all funky smack shape, teardrop, little weird stuff that you would never see. And it seems like the rocks come back to their own pure.
So this formation is generally not like the breccia that you find at Yogo in the sense that it came up. as an
No,
intrusion.
Yogo is more of a lamperite type material.
This is sedimentary.
It possibly went down and got subducted in earth that came back up, where this one, I believe, was born on the surface. And I don't think any of these rocks ever left or ever came in from anywhere else.
You ever find some sapphires just on the wall?
Yes, I have.
Okay, that's a funny question.
Oh my God. This is a new way to do vibration.
Whoa. El Dorado mine. This is a group, 18 gemologists, dealers, retailers, coming to visit. Also experience, so I can put it on. Eric, any sapphires there? What? Ah, hey. Wow, what a guy. Look at it.
Maybe.
Seeing the sapphires. Sorting out. Then going up to the next step. What's that? What do you think?
What you saw just 2 seconds ago is a jigs, where the concentrating sapphire is a heavy on the bottom, and then they hand pick them up. You'll see better as the next few slides in Rock Creek as well. This is something special here.
Travis, like a color to the sapphires in Montana. Yeah? Do you agree? Yeah.
What do you mean double?
Ah, double rainbow.
Double rainbow. Wow.
Double rainbow.
You can see that we could be excited about rainbow, but it was rainy, but we didn't mind, and it was a really nice present to have rainbow at the end. So this is the owner, how he described the process of mining, but you saw you saw him talking. Basically, there's one layer we call pale layer where they find sapphires, and because of high density of the sapphires, specific gravity 4, of course, could be some other heavy minerals as well. They will be at the bottom of the jigs. This is my group. Only Helena is missing. She couldn't come that day, but I just named them because we have such a good big family. Diane, South Africa, US, Stasia, Florida, Eric, London, William, also US guy, Israel now in US, David, Israel, Laura, Germany, Cynthia, USA, Blaze, of course, honor, Brianna, California, Fazil, Turkey, Travis, New York, me, Paula from Philadelphia area, Bob Kane from Montana, Zachary from Texas, Terry from New York. This is our group, really great people. So conference days, so just to tell you, we have also another workshops, of course, and this is left on the diamonds. And Bob Kane brought really nice picture to frame all possible colors of fancy sapphires, and Warren Boyd is holding it, and this is our expert with Laura, and they're all part of the conference. A lot of experience there to learn about sapphires. We had 3 talks on sapphires beside Laura on the origins, and Warren Boyd did a great talk on Rock Creek. And you will see in the second part of the lecture, he allowed me to use a lot of his photos because, of course, he has better than me. And Cynthia was doing a nice talk of value of the sapphires, and she was also my host in Montana. She's the only one who lived in Montana, so it was great help of her. She did understanding appraisal factors of Montana sapphires, and you will see some slides from her. Basically, because they're untreated and because ethically sourced is a big positive effect on the price. There in recent years, they're in demand. Okay, so let me show you a few pictures of inclusions from Blaze and Cynthia presented. You can see these burst inclusions and rutile silk in stones in Montana sapphires. On the bottom, you see some crystals with a little halo, rutile inclusions. This is what you can see in sapphires from US. About pricing, I'm not put this especially for you because a lot of valuers from Australia, but also Europeans maybe like to know about price. This is a ring, Cynthia told me it was sold for 8,900, just less than a carat Yogo sapphire. And on the top, you see earrings, just not even half carat, $1,500. And on the right, a very nice color, 3 carat, which is super rare. I'm not sure it's sold, but it was on sale in Tucson for $84,000. Yogo sapphire. It really looks very nice color, almost like whatever they call it, a royal blue, or really nice color. On the bottom here, some more typical Montana jewelry. More green blue mixture, violet and lighter blue that the Montana sapphires. Not they call it Montana, and this is Yogo. Even this is how they call it when they're selling it. Separate these 2 categories. This is super rare. I didn't see it, but definitely interesting stone. You can see the needles, rutile, a color change, sapphire, more bluish, blue-green, green-blue to purple, changing color. It's nice. And something more on the value. On the left and right, there are 2 different sources. On the left is Montana, Missouri. On the right is Yogo. Difference in size is big. 5 carat over approximately 2 carats. Approximately the price is about the same, close to $30,000 for the ring. So you can see how Yogo sapphires are much more rare and more valuable. And this is also rare to get 2 carats Yogo. Okay, so this is also interesting. On the left, this is the one that I was showing. No heat, no treatment. And on the right, star stone. I would think to be more, but 3,850 star purple sapphire, lavender, we can say. And what is fun, of course, it was fun group. We also had fun and never stop looking at the sapphires. We had a gala dinner in nice country place, of course. It's Montana Steaks. And one of the miner brought a Yogo nice stone. And guess what? I won't mention the name, but a gemologist from US flip it, and for 15 minutes we were looking for this stone under the table. You see, Eric is very worried, and a lot of people. And finally, of course, we found it. It was $10,000 stone under the table. And then we go back to hotel and we find Zach, who was a younger person in the group who was really mining for sapphires. He was claiming some part of the river, paying a fee for half day, and he caught a lot of sapphires. He later cut them. You can see he's also learning to cut. So you can basically find your stone, cut your stone, hopefully make some money out of this trip as well. A lot of my people bought some sapphires, rough and polished, and I heard them that they did okay after in US market. After the conference, we went to 1 hour, half 2 hours west to a small town, Phillipsburg, very beautiful town with a lot of historical buildings. And of course, sapphires are sold everywhere because it's quite close to the Rock Creek mine. So we went to the Sapphire Gallery, quite almost 35, 40 years in business, where next to it, same owners has a candy store, so it was really exciting to go to both places, and of course in the evening celebration of my group in one simple motel place. So what is nice, I organized that we one of the owner Dale he's doing heat treatments of Rock Creek sapphires just on the back of the store. He didn't disclose the formula, but for sure it's over 1,000 degrees. And he has these furnaces, how he changed color from left not heated to heated stones. So this is one quite complicated, but I added today a slide on geology because at my last lecture, GA, I mentioned that Rock Creek sapphire deposit is not known where original source never found, or how they are formed. And then my Canadian fellow mineralogist, geologist Phil Belly from Vancouver, actually, but now he's in Newfoundland. He was there actually this year and studying, and he did a lot of collection of small sapphires. He separated them, and he found them in this rhyolite tooth. And he basically proved, because he found some sapphire with the inside the fracture filled with this rhyolitic material. And of course, this is what I did when I was a geologist, look at the thin section. It proved that basically this stone erupted, it came as a result of explosive volcanic eruption, and then it's formed in a rock called tuff. And actually, I did my geology degree on this kind of very lighter rock. So very interesting research, and came from Canada. And also the owner of the biggest sapphire mine, Rock Creek, it's Kate Baron from Canada, and the major marketing guy and also geologist and gemmologist Warren Boyd is from Canada. It's interesting, a lot of Canadians involved in this operation in Montana. And for me, it was fascinating, and for many people, to find out that in 1 year, last year, they did 200 kilograms of rough sapphires, and 180 were sold in Bangkok at this different auction. Prices, of course, huge range from $2 per carat to $10,000 per carat. So it was very interesting to find out about that. And since the 60s, a lot of people in Montana offer for tourists to collect sapphires. You can just pay the little fee and you can find your sapphires. But what is interesting, that around 65 tons of sapphires were recovered only from this area, because it's a huge area, and it's definitely a major source of sapphires today. You can see some nice stones, more like orange, no heat on the left, one of the biggest blue polished sapphires. Sorry about this, went too fast. Montana Queen, 12.62. It's also mined in Rock Creek. And I don't know exactly the price, but this is the most expensive Montana sapphire, 519 natural color sapphires that was from this Rock Creek area. This is the area where we came to look this close to the river, and as you can see, it's a lot of mountains around. It's very nice, and we went to this plant. You'll see later how it looks. This is one of the most beautiful sapphires cut, and last year I got AGTS Spectrum Award because famous gemstone cutter John Dyer did cut it, and it will be 33 carats. He kept the shape. You can see hexagonal crystal, and stone is heated, and due to heat treatment, create this beautiful star in the center, yellow star, and mixture with blue. It's basically 10 years ago discovered, but now it's cut last year. Okay. Still people signing up, what is good. And this is one of my favorite as a rough, really. It's my poster stone from my conference. It's 64 carat, largest recorded blue sapphire recovered 2018. And now you can see it in Smithsonian collection. Of course, it's pity to cut it. Ponderosa sapphire from Rock Creek. You can see here a variety of colors, and if you come to Tucson show, you can see these few dealers selling these kind of stones. Of course, Potentate Mining is one of them. You can see here the difference in production. Yogo, famous Yogo, in all the history, just a little bit over 3,000 kilograms of sapphires. All Missouri River, all alluvial mines, less than 3,000 kilograms. And Rock Creek, by itself, 65,000 or 65 tons, 65,000, almost 60,000 kilograms. Now more because it was 2014. It's amazing property, and 90% of them are belong to this one company, and mostly 80% are heat treated. You can see here where they're mining in this area, and they bring with trucks to the plant. We were there, and it was really a lot of operation. So you can see on top right, it's Warren Boyd explained to us. They bring rocks to these grizzlies processing plant. They're removing these big rocks, and then a 40-foot trommel will size them, and then go to jigs, density jigs. It's pulsating water tables. And Warren was very nice to let us come in the afternoon at 4 o'clock when they stop the jigs, so we can really see how because they're heavy on the bottom concentration, and we can hand pick our sapphires, and at least, of course, give them back, but we can find them very easy at the end of the day. And typically they are heat treated. You can see here in these jigs, they found also gold. So it's very, and of course, could be also other color. This is a nice green sapphire, yellowish green from this locality. And in this centrifugal concentrator, it will be not only sapphire, it will be all heavy garnets, minerals, and some gold. And they will, of course, then separate them by hand. And we saw this huge vacuum, industrial vacuum. At the end of the day, it's collecting all this concentrate, put it in huge buckets, and bring it to the laboratory, to the main office for cleaning. Gem-rich gravels, this is how it looks, 50 carat per cubic yard. And then they have concentrate and other minerals, and then they will pick up sapphires. You can see how it looks much nicer. They need some cleaning, and they will clean them with acid. They'll definitely look much brighter and more color coming up, and they'll decide which one needs heat treatment, let's say 80%, and they will turn into more blue or green or yellow, pink, depends on the starting color. So this is a nice picture how they look like different colors, some pinks you can see, and some fancy colors, but mostly blue and green. Okay, so just a second. Okay, good. So you can see here on the left and right how it looks before treatment and after treatment. Montana sapphires, in this case, Rock Creek. You can see a lot of them require heat treatment, improve the color, and a lot of them end up in many American stores. You can see here, I won't read all the names, but depends. The Columbia Gem House from Seattle is the closest one to Vancouver. They call them denim sapphires. Of course, there are many different names, but also they are selling them in US, Canada, or in Canada, Europe, and Australia, and cutting it India, Thailand, China even, and some people still cutting in US and Canada. This kind of stones rough. Thanks to Warren Boyd and his nice pictures. You can see the logo Potentate, all these pictures. We have some nice pink and Patparasha stones, color mixture of pink and orange on the right. No heat. This is one of the largest stone discovered that's 4 years ago. 7790 end up polished stone. It's also one of the AGTS Spectrum Award winner 2022. And some lavender and purple sapphires, they're not treated, around 1 carat. Fancy shapes. And this has become popular. Who come to Tucson, you know, it's very popular bicolored stones. Could be yellow, orange, and blue. Could be corallus and orange. You can see there could be even 280, almost 3 carat stones. They're a little bit larger than Yogo. And I like this one on the left, a mixture of purple and almost ruby color. And this is like almost like 3 green, yellow, and blue. This is an interesting stone, interesting picture. I like it because this is how it looks before heat. You can see a lot of brown in a stone, and definitely beautiful hexagonal color zoning. That's will turn into blue hexagonal zoning after the treatment. So to conclude this lecture about Montana Sapphire, I say Montana Sapphire because it is coming from Montana State, but in this case, when I say Montana Sapphire, I mean alluvial deposits, the most important. Yogo, as you can see, it's producing very sporadically and not a big quantity, and there's still, of course, some old inventory of stones, and they're still selling them, but majority is coming from these 4 mines. Raw Creek is the biggest. We went there. Missouri Creek, Missouri River. We didn't go to Dry Cottonwood Creek, and you can see the colors. And this one, sorry, missing I, Star of David, rough sapphire, rough. This nice triangular surface mark. So, to finish, I always like to do one day at least for people to relax at the end. We went all the way to across Montana in the middle of the state. Thanks to Cynthia, we went to Singing Rock National Park, where you can hit this rock with a hammer, like Lena's hitting very hard, and then they produce sound. A lot of iron in them. And then we went, of course, to Yellowstone National Park last night to relax. And at the end, we say goodbye to each other. But we'll reunite in Tucson. Who comes to Tucson on December, I think, sorry, February 3rd, Tuesday, we'll go together for dinner and drinks. You're welcome to join us. Some of you will be in Tucson, so we can talk about sapphires, of course, and talk about next conference. So this is a lot of things to read, and I would recommend you, if you didn't get this copy of Journal of Gemmology, just latest one, Eric Ems did a nice article on conference and field trips, educational. I did mine in 2006, of course. Robert Kane, 2020, very nice article. These people who were part of the conference, of course, many other people in the past did nice articles on Yogo sapphires and Montana sapphires, Alluvial. So, who wants to learn more? I would recommend Laura Kiefert is now for 3 years part of my online academy. She did excellent lectures on treatments on common gems, but also of origin emeralds, sapphires, and rubies. I do basics on gemstones with Helena and other people, Randy, Joe Lowry on turquoise. But of course, my strongest thing is diamonds. We do from basic to intermediate to advanced. I have all these speakers as a part of my books talking about diamonds, as you know. I did a lot of these talks. And what is new, just to let you know, hopefully we'll finish by Tucson. And now we are halfway through. With Randy Lightfoot, I did a cooperation with him on cross-polarized filters booklet 2023. Now we're doing on blue gemstones. In the past, I did the pink, red, and green. We expand a little bit, make it more intermediate level by adding a nice spectra done by simple in Spectrum portable spectrometer. You can see here on the top is one stone from Vietnam by Miha Jeršek. He's curator of Museum of Natural History in Slovenia. We organized this year first time diamond exhibition there, so it was nice. Trapiche sapphire, nice strong 450 absorption. On the bottom you see one from Yogo. We have also chromium lines at 690 emission. So this is interesting, and we want to also, when it's interesting, put 2 or 3 photos. In this case, on the top, we have crystals with hollow. It is heated stone, and you can see it has also chromium lines and 450, metamorphic origin. As you can see here, we see very easy these curved bands and chalky green blue fluorescence in synthetic sapphire. What is interesting, this same stone, if you look at the short UV regular light, you won't see this. So what I want to tell you as a little bit advice, it's good to use a deep UV also for gemstones, not only for diamonds, to see, in this case, synthetic, but I think could have some promising results. Or heated stones, we're now investigating that, and we will tell you more in Tucson, who comes, or another lecture, maybe Dubai. Okay, so this is coming for Tucson, and what is new also, I'm doing, of course, a lot of education here in Vancouver, now become ATC Center for GEMA. Beside that, I also do regular workshops because trade really need to be educated, like the gemologists who misidentify flame fusion, easy to tell synthetic sapphire as a Sri Lankan stone. We're doing here in Vancouver a lot of workshops this year with Helena. And I'm excited to tell you that our 3rd International BrankoGem Conference will happen halfway between Canada and Australia, somewhere in the middle, in Dubai, and closer to Europe, but not in Mediterranean countries. And what we'll do as a pre-conference trip, I need to make it a little bit complicated. This is me. In Cyprus, we flew to Israel 1 hour. Now we are flying 1 hour to Bahrain, or for Pearl experience, because I was there 2018. Great laboratory done it, and we'll go to Pearl workshop, and we're gonna snorkel and dive for natural pearls. This is the plan. And then we go to Dubai. It is show, so 3 days, not only a conference. I want people to display, and I already have 5-6 people commit to show amber, turquoise, diamonds, equipment for cutting. So we'll see how it will go. We have 2 workshops, new one that I never did before. Amber, Michael Kosier from Poland is coming, and I'll repeat turquoise with a more hands-on, more practical than in US. And in the morning we have a gems talk beside me, and Don Lowry and Michael on Lambert. We have Kim Hughes on appraising Australian gemstones, what's important for people to know. There are a lot of gemstones, and Pearl talk on Danat, and design talk from my host and World Academy of Design head Tarun Jain. Of course, afternoon is diamond talks, and of course, I would really recommend you to come to listen Thomas, whenever listen to Thomas Henschwang. He has a new book on fluorescence of diamonds. We met each other in Linz, and of course, I got his book. He's part of my book, so I even put on my website. He's selling as well. I would recommend. And we have 2 people from Octonus, one from India, one from Finland. They'll talk about high performance cut. I visited this factory in Surat, where Octonus is working. It's a lemon factory. It's amazing technology what they're doing. And Olga Okremenko will talk about interesting topic, how natural synthetic diamonds should really compete in cutting and performance with the light, not with the price. And this we'll talk about this at the round table, moderated by Australian fellow John Chapman, that you know, many of you. And Helena will do first time grading of rough diamonds workshop, because Dubai is also a hub for rough diamonds, and I'll do my update on lab grown. It's always something new happening. So this is all happening March 25th to 28th, and this is part of me doing this for now 15 years. And this is me when I was young, 2001, my first flight over Australia with 10 gemmologists, and this is me 2023 in Opal tour. And of course, one of the best workshops, actually the biggest one ever happened, is 40 people came in Brisbane a couple of years ago. We have 3 instructors doing it, and hopefully I want to come back to Australia. I think I'm coming every 2nd, 3rd year. It's due now for next year, I think, or year after, we'll see. Anyway, I want to thank all the people who came to the conference. They make conference interesting, and we meet really good people. Some of them will come to Dubai. You'll meet them, and people who are guiding the conference, who are hosting, and Kim Hughes for helping to organize this lecture and spread over Australia, and people from Canada, Philip and Warren, who helped with the geology and slides. So what I can tell you, it was fun. We enjoyed it very much. Hopefully you enjoyed the lecture. You can ask questions, but come to Montana, because it's really interesting place. You can see really how they mine for sapphires. It's different than I was in Sri Lanka, I was in Cambodia, and Australia is different, definitely. And I would like to thank you and tell you that if you like this lecture, next one will be, of course, about my specialty diamonds. In 1 week from now, same time, I'll share my latest research, not published yet. I did 2 little groups. I bought some stones in India last October, and we studied with Thomas some of them. This is his spectra. What is interesting that I bought, I think, whatever, 2 dozen stones, and 3 of them, they sold me a CVD. And of course, I don't have instruments there to separate. I can see fluorescence only. And they did not phosphoresce. Okay, they could be CVD. So what they did to these stones, they radiate HPHT stones, melee, so they don't show phosphorescence. So this is just a warning for those who are doing a lot of jewelry, and you are, definitely. Don't expect that all stones will phosphoresce melee in your rings, and they are. So if they don't fluoresce, You need to find a way to test them. It's not always easy, but this is what I want to give you a little warning. And on the left, it's the stones that are grown by this company, Evic. Sorry, it's misspelled here. Should be with a 2 I and 1 Q. So sorry about that. And you can see on the top left, it's amazing how if you look very fast without paying attention, this is really multicolor pattern typical for type 1A natural diamonds. And I was shocked to see first 2-3 stones, and then look at 5 stones, and then look 10 stones. Now look 15 stones. Majority of them showing like this. Okay, some of them has a parallel end pattern like this, but some of them just pattern like this. So don't assume that this is natural diamond just because of. I teach many of you, and I keep teaching. It's very good technique still. Here yesterday 3 CVD diamond that could detect parallel pattern, but when this producer from Dubai, it's more complicated. Why it's a problem also because under long UV and short UV, there are no non-fluorescence, none, nada, nothing. So then, of course, some of them, this is big stones, the 310 and 360, 310. On the bottom, you can see how they look. I put 6 stones here that are CVD, and 2 of them just as a reference, my 2A natural and 1A. So these stones behave like they should behave under deep UV, showing pink-orange fluorescence, and this is a great instrument, Dove, that Geometrix is making. I recommend. Who doesn't have it? Anyway, but some of them showing me this kind of violetish blue fluorescence like natural diamond. So this is what I want to study more, and I'm getting more hope for this week and next week, and I will report whatever I know next Tuesday, and then more in Dubai. So this is what I want to tell you, and I think we have time for always, even if it's midnight here. Let's see what the time. Okay, I finished exactly midnight. We have time for questions. You can text me. And now many of you actually have open speakers, so you can even tell me your question or comment, and I will be happy to answer. I will just stop sharing so we can see me full. I'm very happy with the number of people showing up. I really appreciate that. Almost 50 people, what is great for such a talk, because it is still a gem talk, not something we expect, but it's diamond. Okay, I have a question from Penelope. Are you planning other visits to the mines? Yes, I do. I don't know I will come back to Montana, but I think because it's not so far from me and many Americans, of course, it's a good place. I think in 2 years' time, I'll be back. So if you want to join, let me know. And the person from Moscow is asking about very interesting talk, and she asking about price of DUV Dove. On my website is $895 US plus shipping. When people do workshop, I give some discount, of course, but this is what is on my website. Yes, and Catherine White comment about Fluorescence Book of Diamonds. I agree, it's a very good book. A lot of good pictures, not so much text, but still very nice table reference with the cause of fluorescence in diamonds. And I think whoever is serious about gemology should get this book on diamonds. It's also on my website. I'm selling for $80. I think it's very similar to what he's selling in euros or Swiss francs. I don't know what Thomas is doing, but we agree on to be the same price. So this is about that. Yes, thank you, Laura. She was in a conference in Italy. She said, I'll go to Montana. Very good. I'm counting on you. Let's see how many people we collect in 2 years, and I don't mind to go back. There's also yes.
Branko, can you elaborate a little bit on the use of fluorescence with curved color to look for curved color zoning? Is that what you said, to look for curved color zoning?
Yeah, for one type of fluorescent, one type of synthetic. You finish your GMA. So basically, flame fusion type of sapphires that are around for now. I think they make first one in end of 19th century in Switzerland, 1895 or something. They are characteristic by 2 things. First, they could have gas bubbles, but sometimes they don't have. So if you don't find gas bubbles, don't assume it's natural. Like this stone today didn't have gas bubbles. So it confused one gemologist, because usually they're much more curved, really curved, but sometimes they're a little bit curved. But still, if you see bands going across the whole stone, this is the way how they grow these sapphires. I saw them in Russia, and I was in factories. So it's a bowl like this, looks like a very oval, and that's why it's curved. And very important fluorescence. Almost all synthetic flame fusion, almost, because I really didn't study thousands of them, but I always check fluorescence on the long UV and short UV. If you see long UV none and short UV none, this is normal for most sapphires, especially those that are basaltic. Of course, could be weak orange or weak red if they have chrome. But if you see short UV, weak to medium, we call it chalky green or green blue, could be two things. Could be heated sapphire. Not all of them are showing, but it could be. If it's stronger and more obvious, then it's synthetic flame fusion. And with this Dove or deep UV, as a show, I can show again if you want, we could see easily even how it looks, let me just go back. The curved bands, it's really, you can see it here, it's there. You see the bands? You can see how they're curving very nicely. This is on the middle of this picture on the microscope. You can see gas bubbles. This is a stone from my collection that actually Randy did the microphoto. I'm very busy with many things. As you can see, to organize conference is a big job. So I give Randy my collection to do microphoto, spectra, and now I write a text. But this is basically under deep UV or Dove instrument that I sell and Geometrics making. You can see it much easier than under regular UV light that most people have it. This is just advice that is not only for diamonds. Thank you for asking this, Laura.
So you can see it in the Geometrics box.
In Geometrics under short UV light, DUV, we call it DUV, deep UV, deep UV.
Sure.
There's two options. He has a, I don't have it in me because I'm now in my office at home, not at the laboratory. But basically it has long UV and said DUV, deep UV. So basically you can still see long UV, what is very important for diamonds to see long UV. I was just doing a little video with Helena for her Instagram, and she posted Helena Gem Coach. Basically, for some lay people, if you see blue fluorescence of diamonds and the long UV, it's natural. But if you see non, don't assume it's natural synthetic. Needs more test. But if it's a HPHT, definitely under DUV will show more orange or red, or in this case, it's sapphire. But in case of diamond, it's much more obvious. But again, it's not 100% test. That's why I keep telling about combination of instruments. But I'll talk about this in 1 week. Who wants to join? Already have a nice group of 25 people sign up. It's 25 euros or whatever, $29 for this lecture and for next week, if you want to do it, because it's a lot of work to prepare it, believe me. Okay, thank you for this question.
Yep, thank you.
No problem. You'll be back in US next year, yeah, or planning? Mm-hmm.
Not Tucson this year.
Not Tucson. Okay. Okay, we have even people from Slovenia. Thank you, Peter, for listening. He's a Slovenian who lives in Australia, a very nice guy who hosts my workshop in September. And yeah, this is good. Okay. And I want to say that Fazil is listening. He's a speaker from Turkey. He was really nice to do a lecture, and hopefully he'll come to Dubai and also exhibit there. He has a nice collection of Turkish gemstones. I'm trying to make now a conference that is not only academic, but also show and conference. I got idea from Turquoise United Conference last year in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I like it very much. So basically, on the same floor, on the left side, you see our show. People can go around and buy turquoise and ask dealers. I learned so much treatments and imitations. And on the right, you have talks. So this is basically how Dubai would look like. It's an experiment. I want to see how you like it, who attended my conferences in the past. So it's more interactive. It's more interesting. And people can learn more by looking at the samples. This is my idea to make it for locals as well. we'll do half day on Wednesday opening the show, 4 or 5 lectures for free for the show who are attending the show. If you don't have any more questions, thank you for coming and joining me in these late hours, for me at least. You can continue with your regular day in Europe, and hope to see you in Tucson and Dubai. And I will come back to Europe. I was 3 times this year in Europe. Really, I do a lot of education. I did workshops in France, Spain, Romania, and 5 countries in September: Serbia, Slovenia, Austria, Poland, and Czech Republic. So I think people need to know more about what's happening on the market. And what is interesting now, more and more workshops are coming on gemstones, not only on diamonds. I'm sure it's the same in where you live in your part of the world, that people become more interested in gemstones. And knowledge is not there, but interest is there. So I do hope that we'll do more lectures on gemstones. I love gemstones, and just need to go more to the mines, of course. We're already planning something, but we'll see. It will happen with Diana. She's from South Africa to do something conference in South Africa, but it's a long trip for most of us. So it has to be very carefully planned 2-3 years from now. But I was there as a student geologist. I love the country, and I think it's a very good place to be. Okay, so if this is it, let me check the chats, but I don't see anything especially new. Let me see, maybe, okay, let me see one more some chat, and then we can close. Okay. Okay, good. Have a comment from a laboratory in Saudi Arabia. They can, of course, Diamond View can also see easily curved bands. Diamond View is a really more expensive version of deep UV. I'm talking about $30,000 US versus 900. It's not portable, but is of course a better instrument if you can use Diamond View. Very good. This is a laboratory from Saudi Arabia, that new one. It's a lot of now new laboratories showing up with a good equipment, what is good. Yes, so people saying thank you. That's very much. Thank you for coming. And thank you for those who are coming, like Catherine, to Dubai and Bahrain. And we'll have a nice group. Some more people from previous conferences coming, some new. And of course, we expect more Australians to come and more people from Asia, Europe, and who knows. We'll see who will come. Everybody welcome, of course. It's a big good conference, I can guarantee that. But to come. Let me know if you have any questions. Email me, text me, and hope to see you in 1 week. And I would like to say goodbye to everybody and close this unless anybody has anything to say. Please do. Otherwise, we finished on time. Okay. Thank you, Australians. Thank you, Europeans. Many countries, so I cannot mention everybody. And a few of you from Canada and USA for coming. Bye to everybody, and see you next time. I really enjoyed do this for you. Bye-bye. Good night, or good morning, or good afternoon.